Job well done, Governor Wes Moore. Thank you for vetoing that reparations bill.
Governor Wes Moore just vetoed a bill to study reparations. Not to fund, but to study the historical inequities that black people endured in Maryland. And he shut that down.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your channel where you find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. It's your boy, Big Blue. And this is interesting stuff. So apparently, Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoed slavery reparations study, citing need for the work itself. Now, this was a couple of months ago. I want to say like around June, May-ish, that he was trying to veto this bill. We can see right here, rejects a bill that aimed to establish a commission to examine slavery reparations in Maryland. It's so weird. I just really don't understand people. Okay, let's just go ahead and keep this in mind. Just keep this in mind. Specifically, this part, aim to establish a commission to examine slavery reparations in Maryland. All right, let's go ahead and just take a look and see what some people are feeling about this situation.
Job well done, Governor Wes Moore, the first black governor of Maryland. Thank you for vetoing that reparations bill. I do not believe taxpayers of today should have to fund and pay for reparations that happened over 200 years ago. We would not be shamed or bullied into paying for something that happened over 200 years ago. If you have an issue with this, regardless of what race you are, take it up with somebody else, but not me.
Okay, now here's an interesting one. Here's a white woman that voted for this bill. Now, nothing against white people, but I don't know. It's like when we throw the whole race thing, it just makes things seem weird.
Hey, we just voted on a bill to start a reparations commission in our state, and I'm really proud of that vote. I know it's going to be really significant for my district. I don't think it's ever too late to do the right thing, and you often can't do the right thing without doing the hard thing. And looking at our history, I think is a painful thing, but it's the right thing to do. And if you don't know your history, you can't heal.
The governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, my governor, I live in Maryland, vetoed a bill that would have basically did a study pertaining to reparations. Wes Moore said, hey, look, those resources could be put elsewhere. You didn't done 4 other studies or commissioned people to do studies on reparations. He didn't do anything wrong. He did the right thing. He did the right thing for Marylanders. He did the right thing for the people that look to him for leadership. What did he do wrong? He vetoed that bill. It should have been vetoed. What do we need a commission or a study on reparations for? That subject matter, you gonna do it or you ain't. It's been years. And like he said, those resources are better used elsewhere.
Now, it's interesting that he says that, and I was kind of in the same boat in the whole premise regarding examining reparations, doing a study to examine reparations. Why are we studying? And then even that, it was said that this wasn't the first time that they've done these studies. It's like a continuation of another study for reparations. You're telling me after the first, second study that we still haven't come up with something and we're still looking into it? But let's see what this brother got to say about this.
Governor Wes Moore, the only black governor in the United States, just vetoed a bill to study reparations in Maryland. Not to implement, not to fund, but to study the historical inequities that black people endured in Maryland, and he shut that down. Now, the governor said it was a physical burden on the state, but it's not about money. It's about memory. It's about history. It's about accountability. Maryland was a slave state. Black people were bought, sold, and brutalized there. Our ancestors worked their asses off and never received a penny. But now that they're asking for a study, you're trying to tell me that's too expensive? Governor Moore, that ain't it. This isn't just about the bill. It's about how easy black pain is pushed off the agenda. Even when we finally get someone that looks like us in power. If black faces in high places still won't prioritize our history, our justice, then we got to get a little bit louder. We need to organize a little bit harder. We must hold everybody accountable, even our own. This ain't personal. It's political. It's historical. You can't heal what you refuse to study.
I for one think that this is like 100% personal. Let's got one more. So one thing I want to do. Let's do two more videos. Two more videos. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Here's the latest from Maryland. Governor Wes Moore vetoed a bill that would have established a commission to develop reparations in our state. Now, this bill wasn't just any piece of legislation. This was a priority for our Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland, the largest caucus of its kind in the country. The Maryland Reparations Commission is a call to action to examine and develop a framework for Maryland to implement reparations for injustices in our state, like enslavement, Jim Crow, and housing discrimination. The current disparities we observe are a result of intentional policies and need to be addressed and rectified. Vetoing this bill is a missed chance to confront Maryland's painful history and the ongoing impacts of anti-Black policies, past and present. Reparations are a crucial step in radically transforming society. It fits right into our mission here at Progressive Maryland to build a more equitable and just society. So we can't hide our disappointment with Governor Moore. The good news is that the bill passed with a veto-proof majority, and Progressive Maryland will support the Maryland General Assembly if they override the veto and move forward on this important step towards reconciliation. This issue is too critical to ignore, and we're disappointed in this veto. We hold all our elected officials accountable, always. That's what we're here for. So tell me, how would reparations help build a more just and equitable Maryland in your eyes?
That's interesting. Reparations? I mean, I don't live in Maryland. The interesting thing is I do know people that do live in Maryland. But like the idea of reparations, I don't see it. It just doesn't make I understand why people want reparations, but this is something that happened years ago. Anybody who was affected by slavery and whatnot are more than likely not here. They're not here. They're not alive. Those are the people that deserve reparations, and maybe their kids. And even then, the kids are old as heck now. Like, this is the part that is still like not making sense to me when it comes to the whole reparations thing. Everybody wants their 40 acres and a mule and stuff like that. But it's like what you're experiencing right now has nothing to do with what happened back then. So the people of that generation, they had their kids and their kids fight. Those are the ones that should have had their reparations. And they were fighting to get more civil rights for us right now. That's our reparations. We now have the ability to do everything that the white man is able to do. And it just doesn't make sense. I don't get how a lot of people can really think that reparations is really going to be the answer. And even what she said, I mean, the title of her page is Progressive Maryland. And it's just like this type of stuff isn't going to get us anywhere. It's not going to get us anywhere. I had one more video, but I'm just going to stop it right there because I actually want to go back to the other video and see some of the comments because some of the people were just not making any sense. And okay, so back what I was saying with the other lady, we're talking about reparations for Maryland. We're talking about reparations for the Black community. First off, who's paying for the reparations? I don't think people really understand what gets taken out from our taxes. They really don't. Because when it comes to reparations, we're ultimately going to be the one paying for the reparations through our taxes. So it's like we get money, but now we're going to owe more money because the money got to come from somewhere. And last I checked, Maryland, they're kind of under the hole a couple of billion, which I guess really isn't all that much, depending on the state. But it's just interesting. And again, this is a Democratic governor. Somebody please help me understand if I'm misunderstanding something. This is a Democratic governor that vetoed this bill that was going to push for studies to gain reparations. And what he's saying is, forget the studies. Let's go ahead and implement something. I was looking up a couple of other locations, and it looks like there are some other situations in which there was some form of, reparations that was put in place. Evanston, Illinois, 2019. Evanston became the first U.S. city to establish a publicly funded reparations program. It allocated $10 million sourced from a cannabis tax for grants related to housing support. Great. Fine. And again, cannabis tax. So they took it from the cannabis tax. Payments have been made right early 2023. 16 Black residents received up to $25,000 each for down payments for their home repairs or home repairs. Okay, reparations in Illinois. Great. Massachusetts is proposed but not yet distributed yet. They're gonna distribute $2 million worth of reparations fed by cannabis tax revenue. Again, tax, cannabis tax. This is a tax that we already pay for. Tulsa, Oklahoma in June. Literally, this just happened. Has been implemented. Announced 105 million reparation package targeting survivors of descendants of the Tulsa race massacre. Reparations. The people from 1921, they are still alive, and they have kids that are affected that are still alive. When we're talking about slavery as a whole, when all of America is talking about slavery as a whole, those people that were affected by that stuff are no longer here. So it's like, why are we getting these reparations for? I don't get it. The second thing is, when we're talking about reparations, what are we going to be using this money for? It's great. It's great that they're putting money towards housing, because that's for, like, it's like kind of a gift. Like, here's a down payment so that you can get a house. But for those that are getting like monetary, like they're getting like a couple of thousand, $100,000 or whatever, that's what a lot of people are expecting. What are you going to do with that money? I'm curious, because the way that the Black community is, I fear, and I have a very solid idea, that when you give the community money, they spend it quickly. Then what was the point? What was the point? Didn't use it for a business, didn't use it to invest, didn't use it to, I don't know, pay some of your bills off. No, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are just going to spend it. So why did you need the reparations for? Just so that you could do things that you want? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Let me go ahead and go back to the comments on this video. Okay. Anyone from our race is about the system, fight for the system, and never for us. He lit, and that's, oh my gosh. Y'all, please help me understand. We're here to understand. Help me understand what I'm missing here. What the F, he voted you in. Some say he has a good reason or good rebuttal. If people just go out and actually listen to what was said, or go to ground.news and get the information there, then maybe you would see a little more. I'm going based off of what I've heard was been written. And in ground.news, it says specifically that yes, he was an attempt to veto the bill, but that was because he's trying to implement something, not keep having studies. And this wasn't the first study. So if we're still studying, maybe we should try something else. I don't know. How is it that we're still having studies and we're not coming up with a plan? To me, that just sounds like we don't need to do any more studying. 100% sellout. He'll never learn that they will never pick him. I don't know. He's been bought. Who paid him off? That's the question. Not surprised at all. Isn't he a politician? And didn't Obama do the same thing? I could say unequivocally that he's not our own, because our own would have understood the mission. What is the mission? I heard he isn't an actual descendant of enslaved Black Americans, and unfortunately, this tracks. Okay, I mean that's not the first time somebody lied about their heritage in the Democratic Party, but whatever. Wow, we're not worthy of having everything we've been through be studied.
What?
Why are we studying? What are we studying? This is my good. I'm surprised. This is my governor. Shameful. He ain't like us. Okay, I'm done. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Help me understand, please. Help me better understand what the heck is going on in these studies that is just so important. Like the one gentleman that was highly upset about this whole situation, he was stating that, it was to help the studies of our history. You tell me there isn't enough history? There hasn't been enough history that's been over these course of years. That hasn't been enough history to know what happened back then? What are we still studying? What are we still studying? I don't get it. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I think I had enough of this. This was just interesting. It came up on my feed. I see nothing wrong. And again, this isn't like me talking about and that's the crazy thing. Like this is maybe he's onto something. Maybe he's moving like a politician should be moving, actually doing something instead of just holding more meetings and like just having things to prolong a situation that we're trying to find a solution for. And so Wes Moore is saying, enough of that. Let's just find a way to make this happen. Yet community is up in arms because this was something that I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section exactly what I'm missing. Let me know what I'm missing because I would like to understand what the frustration is, please. But anyways, I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.